Can you believe a whole year has passed since Crown Zenith released? A year seems so short, but Crown Zenith feels so far away. In the year since Crown Zenith dropped, we've had 6 sets released. Scarlet and Violet, Paldea Evolved, Obsidian Flames, 151, Paradox Rift, and Paldean Fates, all in just 1 year. And what do you notice when you look back on this iconic set and dig into the market value of the cards it contains? Well, let's get to it. Crown Zenith is easily my favorite set of Sword and Shield. Does it have all my favorite chases of the era? No, but it has so many chases and it's so much fun, it's hard for me to compare it to any other set in that capacity. Now I'm just a few cards away from completion of my binder, and the cost of what's left doesn't feel extremely crippling, like the binder I have for Evolving Skies. A set that would set you back $2,500 in singles, by the way. Now I'll finish this binder this year. I just want to get what's left from some local card shops or get some killer eBay deals to wrap it up. I feel like this set has something for everyone to enjoy. In the core part of this set, you've got great stars like Leafeon, Charizard, Glaceon, Mew, Rayquaza, Eevee's in there, and Pikachu, just to name a few of the stars. And then it has a massive gallery full of awesome cards. Mew, Mewtwo, which even Charizard fans would love, Pikachu, Leafeon again, Glaceon, Suicune, Zeraora, Zoroark, Palkia, Dialga, Arceus, and Giratina. And those last 4 are easily the best gold cards we've ever seen. How can you not love this set? With a year in the books, I wanted to look at the current market value of this set and compare it to a year ago. I wondered if looking at the price changes over time would tell us anything. And so far, all I can say is, how the mighty fall. Crown Zenith released after the post-COVID correction, but a couple important key aspects might have played a part in where we are now with it. And that's that Pokemon probably printed this product to meet the demand of at least a year earlier while the market was still in a correction. And they may have also been printing enough to try to quash the scalping that was going on heavily during that era. I'm sure by the time it was already too late, they had contracts in place, printing queued up, and possibly even getting cranked out already. Or it could possibly even have already been completed. All while demand was reeling way back. The flooding of the market with product drove down the cost considerably. And like many others out there, deals were so good, I've got cases of product just sitting in my closet, thanks to all the shops that were overstocked and needing to free up cash to buy the next big thing. Shops can't just invest and keep money tied up for years, hoping to take a 10% margin up to a 100% margin. They're better off just taking that 10% over and over and keeping their customers happy. What's in your closet? What's in my closet? I got Morpeko V Union boxes, which Pokemon printed not once but twice in a second extended pack version, going from the original 5 packs up to 7 packs just to unload this stuff. I've got Zamazenta and Zacian Premium collections, which I recall paying about $30 each for on sale, a $20 markdown from the original price. And of course, Elite Trainer boxes, which you can still easily pick up for $40, $10 less than the original price. And pin collections and who knows what else. And most of the products are all still available on PokemonCenter.com and at distributors for shops to pick up. I can't help but compare this set to Cosmic Eclipse, and while the concept behind the set is very similar, an era-ending send-off full of hits and full arts, Cosmic Eclipse had the benefit of being scarfed up by the pandemic-era craze. And it was printed far less than Crown Zenith. And now that we've passed the 5-year mark for that set, you can see it's doing quite well. I can't wait to see what 5 years does for Crown Zenith, but I think it's going to take a lot longer to see that kind of market growth that Cosmic Eclipse has had over the last year. So how long do we wait? Do we buy in now? Can singles reach any lower? Let's look at the singles sheet. I pulled in all the market values for the Galarian Gallery and the few top cards that are in the main set into my spreadsheet here. What you're going to see is just a huge amount of decline across the board, largely around 50% for most cards. There's a few here and there, and there's a couple of anomalies that had a low value to begin with, and they really haven't changed much, but they have gone slightly up, mostly because they're in the TCG game as being popular cards to use. But you can see here that the first part, which is kind of like the Illustrator rares of today, those non-textured cards, they've all seen a drop here of roughly around that 50% mark across the board. You know, some very awesome cards that didn't start with a huge amount of money, and they've cut in half since then. I took the market value from 1 year ago exactly, which is a few weeks after release, which is where the market had some time to settle down from some of those crazy original prices. These are the 3 cards that have gone up slightly: Barbaro, Bidoof, and Mareep. I'm not sure about Mareep and if it's used in the TCG game much, but it was only $2.57. It really is kind of an anomaly that it's gone up 30 cents in 1 year. It's not really a big deal. I doubt all of you out there were stocking up on Mareep cards to make a 12% return. And if you started selling them now, it's gonna drive the price down. Bidoof and Barbaro, however, are heavily played. Bidoof has gone up 33%. Again, though, we're talking about $2.35 up to $3.12. And Barbaro went from $2.19 up to $2.55. These are good-looking cards, so people do pick them up and put them in their deck. There are plenty of other options to pick up those cards that will cost pennies. And, that's how I personally build my decks, is with the cheap versions. When you start getting into the texture cards, starting with the Leafeon V-Star, you can see back then, $34. It's now a sub $20 card for this fantastic card, a drop of 42%. You can see that none of them have gone up in value. Absolutely none of them. Some have decreased less than others. The Raikou was at $21.96 and has dropped to $16.63, only a decrease of 24%. Entei, 26%. You can see some of the high ones. Hatterene, again, no one really wanted it back then. People really don't want it now. So clearly that tells you, when you know a Pokemon is not that popular, even though the value is low, probably only going to get lower for many years until that product dries up. And even then, I would question whether or not it'd even be a good idea to buy this card, hoping it will go up. So very few people are interested in that Hatterene card. And, the signs are here. It shows you. Let's see. Before we get into the trainers, the last Hisuian Zoroark card. So, yeah, 57% drop. Everything is just a huge drop. A whole year and roughly a 50% drop. You move into the trainers. The one that commands the most money is Irida. Cynthia's Ambition is the second one after that. Both of them, Irida saw a 34% drop. Cynthia's Ambition, a 49% drop. Still huge drops. Obviously, bad investments if you picked them up a year ago. Let's get into the gold cards. Even the gold cards, for the most part, have seen a 50% drop. 40% for Arceus, 35% for Palkia. They started lower. They have less to fall. What does this tell me about these cards here? Keep waiting. There's so much product. People are still ripping. People are still selling. Let's just pop over quickly just for one of these, the most valuable, most chased card in this set over on TCG Player. You can see that there are 84 listings for this card, as low as $73. And some people have multiple listings here. Some of the prices are just, try to make me sell it if you get to the end, so you can't really count those. But, all in all, there's a ton of these out there. Are they moving fast? Well, a couple sold today. A few sold yesterday. So they're moving. They're moving. People are still picking them up. And, if you look at the short term, there is a small amount of growth here from $67 to $77. Over the 1 month span, 75. So most of the growth was a couple months ago. But if you look at the overall trend for a whole year, you can see it just keeps going down and down. Now, we're starting to see a little bit of growth, but there's still a ton of this product out there. There's still a ton for sale here. If they want to move these cards, they're going to have to start competing a little bit more and drop those prices. You can probably look at eBay and also find some great deals on this card. I personally still need it. I'm hoping to pick it up in a local shop where I can get my eyes on it. I don't like putting cards in my binder, even with a little whitening, because, I like looking at them. I want pristine cards. I also grabbed some of the most important cards from the main set here. Elisa Sparkle, $31 a year ago, down to $17. And then the other main one here is the Pikachu, $19, down to $6.50. It's such a gorgeous Pikachu card. It's one of my favorite of Sword and Shield. Dropped 68% over a year. Up here is my estimate. If you ripped 1,000 packs of Crown Zenith, what kind of value you're going to get based on the odds that we're aware of. You're going to get about $1,500 worth of value in all things being equal. But even if you found packs for $3 these days, you're looking at $3,000 spent to get $1,500. Sometimes sets are better. Sometimes they're worse. it's just a good statistic to know whether or not you're going to get a lot of value out of your packs. It's never going to be you're going to make money opening. But if you saw, oh, well, you know, maybe a $2,000 on a $3,000, that's a much more fun time than a $500 value out of $3,000. So just sharing that there. While I was on the spreadsheet, I forgot to point it out, but the entire Galarian Gallery in singles market was going to set you back $1,000 a year ago. It's now down to $540 for the entire set of Galarian Gallery. So as was evident with most of the cards there, 50% drop roughly for the entire collection. So the entire set is roughly about the same, 50% drop over a year. So what does all this tell me? As long as the product's not drying up, the singles will continue to fall. So I think that you can keep holding out for those singles as long as you're willing. Pay attention to the market. Pay attention to how much product is still available on TCG Player. Pay attention to the fact that it's still available on PokemonCenter.com. If you start seeing the products disappear from there, then it might be time to think about, well, I need that Giratina or I need the Arceus. It might be time to pick it up. And that's kind of where I'm at. I need 2 of the gold cards, Palkia, although I need Dialga, which I'm willing to pick up now because I already feel like it's at a low enough value. If I saw it in a shop, I'd pick it up. And Giratina, I would love to see it drop more. Like I said, there is a little trend upward, which is a little nervous, makes me a little nervous. I'd love to see $60 or less for that card because, as I said early in the year, I have to complete this set this year. It's my resolution, along with 151. So I'm on the hunt for that Charizard, and I'm on the hunt for that Giratina gold card to fill out those binders. So what do you guys think about Crown Zenith? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Have you invested in it? Are you reeling at the fact that you've invested and all you continue to see is a drop across the board? I think it's a fantastic set. I think it's worth picking up now to rip and have fun. It is such a fun set. Let me know what you guys think. I hope you're having a great weekend, and I'll catch you in the next video.